Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are continuing to wind down our Disney trip, and we're going to follow a sketch that was created for the April 2024 virtual crop. It's sketch number 1 if you are working on those two. It is initially designed as a 1-page sketch. We are turning it into a 2-page sketch and reorienting the pictures. So hopefully this will be helpful for you to be able to use in your own albums. And just as a quick side note, don't forget to make sure and comment on this video and any of the other videos that you see. Anything that's been launched after May 1st or later of 2024, we are taking every comment that we get and entering you into a drawing. So the more comments you make, the more entries you have. And when we reach the designated level of subscribers that's shown in the video description, we will draw for some free Creative Memories products. And I'm so excited because we're getting to my goals. So as we approach those goals, we're going to have these drawings, and you won't be removed from each drawing. So if you want to know the specifics, check out the details in the video description. But let's get to my workspace and get started. All right, so here's my workspace for today. In keeping with the circle theme that we had in April, since I haven't done those, all of the layouts yet, I started Wednesday with layout number 3 from the virtual crop in April, and today we're going to do virtual crop number 1, but as usual I'm turning this single page sketch into a 2-page sketch. So if you want it to be a single page sketch, then just do one half or the other for your album. It doesn't matter which side you choose. It should be pretty much the same, just depending on which way you orient your photos. And as you'll be able to tell when we get to that far, my photos are oriented a completely different way, so it's just the way it is. I'm actually using 3 pieces of paper from my holiday stash, and I don't believe any of them really were meant to go together. I have these 2 plaid pieces from the accessory pack from this past Christmas. I have this silver piece that has a lot of words on it and the candy canes on the back, which I believe came from the year before, but it may have been from this last year. I'm sorry. All of the Christmas packs are kind of blending together for me now. At any rate, you're going to need to be able to make a 4-inch circle in order to do this layout. And so if you are going to use your custom cutting system, which I highly recommend, you'll want the smallest circle and your red blade. And that will enable you to make a 4-inch circle, which is what this is right here. And we are going to also need our trimmer to cut these pieces that will go in the middle, and some mats that will go on these photos. So I didn't grab any cardstock, so let me grab some cardstock. I think we'll use red for this one. Maybe not red, maybe we'll use cranberry. So we'll get to the mats in a little bit. I'll set that off to the side. I have my permanent and repositionable adhesive, which will also go to the side while we cut some papers to go with these pages. And I'm just going to set the pages over there until we get to them. As you can see, we need some circles. We're going to make 3 circles, 3 4-inch circles. I'm going to make my circles using the plaid papers that we have here. So to use this, just to review real quick, you're going to need a self-healing mat, which is what I have underneath me right here. And this is the custom cutting system. Circle, small circle with a red blade. we're going to go around the outside. So we're going to put our 2 little feet in that outside little trench, and we're going to go all the way around the circle, just once for each circle that we need. But we need 3 circles, and I only have 2 pieces of paper, so that means that one of these is going to, we're going to see both sides of it. So we have 2 different plaids with this piece, and with this piece we have also 2 different plaids. We haven't actually seen that red, white, and blue one. Maybe we ought to use that for our 3rd circle. Alright, so we're just going to cut 2 then out of this piece. If you ever are using this system and you feel a little bit of resistance when you go to cut, it's probably because the feet, these 2 little feet, are not in the right place. So just double check those and make sure that they are both in the trough where they need to go to slide around. If they're not, then it will likely, your blades will tell you that things are not quite as they should be by giving you that little bit of resistance. Alright, now I'm going to grab my trimmer. We're done with the circles. We've got those 3 circles. We're going to grab our trimmer and we're going to do a couple things. We're going to grab this piece of paper, this silver piece, and this piece of paper is one that you can orient any way you choose because the words face every different direction. So you can choose your favorite bold word and make sure that that's easy to read, or that's usually what I do, just so that you can make sure that the way you orient your paper, that you can read what you want to see. Okay, we're going to cut a piece that is 5 by 12, so I'm measuring it this way, and it'll be oriented so that we're reading it like the top is over here and the bottom is here. Okay, so there's my 5-inch piece. Then I'm going to cut 2 1/2-inch pieces, and I'm going to do that by measuring on the right hand side of my cutting line and using the first line of the grid that's on the right hand side. That is 1/2 inch. So I want 2 1/2-inch pieces. Alright, and then I'm going to be done with this paper. I'm going to set it over there. And we're going to take all 3 of our circles and decide which way we want them to be. Do we want the green? Okay, so those 2 we definitely need to have. Do we want this one? Do we want this one? I'm actually thinking this one's probably better. It's about the same level of busyness that the others are. Okay, I'm going to stack my 3 circles and I'm going to place them down here right against my shoulders, right with the cutting line right in the middle. And I'm going to cut right down the center, and that will divide my circles exactly in half. See? So then we are going to just cut some mats, and our photos on this are set to 3.5 by 5.5. So the mat is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm going to cut 3 pieces that are 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Alright, this piece is extra, so we'll set it to the side. Then we're going to take each of these and stack them. Okay, so they're all together. And we need a piece that is 5 3/4. Now, I don't have 5 3/4 marked on my handy little cheat sticker at the top. So I'm going to put my arm out just so that I can make sure that I'm not being too generous or not generous enough with my paper. Okay, so 5 3/4. We're going to cut another one that's 5 3/4. All right, and so those are our mats, and now we are ready to assemble. So I'm going to bring my pages back over, and you can see that I'm using horizontal photos, whereas in the sample that they gave us, they were using vertical photos. So this is going to turn out a little bit different, but that's okay. I don't mind. These are the photos I have to work with, so I'm going to go ahead and make this work. It's going to be a fun thing to see. Oh, you know what I just realized? I need twice as much of this. So let me grab, oh, and I need twice as many circles. What was I thinking? I think I was half asleep when I did this. Okay, so we're going to cut 5 inches, and we're going to cut 2 1/2-inch pieces, because that's exactly what we have left, like I planned it or something. I just lost my mind at the last minute, so sorry. All right, so we've got that squared away. Now we do need 3 more circles from our other papers, so let me just move this apart over and grab our plaid papers. I'm glad that somebody out there was yelling loud enough at me to remind me that I needed 2 more. Okay, you know what? I think I don't know. I don't know what I think. I was thinking maybe actually we would cut 2 from this one and use the other side as well. Then we would truly have a variety. But maybe we'll just stick with what we've got. So we'll do 2 more of this one. All right, so once again we need to cut these into halves, and I'm on purpose placing these so that they're not straight, because I don't need the stress of trying to keep that absolutely straight when I cut it. All right, now we can get back to this. Jeepers. Okay, so we need 1 set of circles on this side, 1 set of circles on this side, 1 wide strip, 1 set of 2 of the 1/2-inch strips, and then we need 3, 1, 2, 3 over there and 3 over here. Okay, and I just realized that I actually need to cut those different because I cut my photos differently, but that's okay. I'll get back to that in a second. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start by putting this big piece down. And I'm going to turn this so that the center jeeping, the hinges are right towards me. And then I'm going to take this and line it up on my grid. And what that's going to enable me to do is to find the center very easily. And that just enables me to find where to center my paper easier. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and place that in the very middle. Then we're going to take each one of these, and I'm going to use repositionable adhesive just because it's more forgiving than the permanent adhesive is. And these are going to go, or this is going to go right on the edge of my Joy paper. When you look at the sketch, and I'm just going to remove that so you can see the sketch again, you might be tempted to put your half circle right up against here and then cover it with this. And that is another method you could use for doing this. However, I can tell they did not do that when they made this, because this half of the circle is extended. It looks in the sketch it looks taller than it would be if you covered the seam with this 1/2 inch strip. So at least that's my opinion. But a sketch can be interpreted many different ways, so that doesn't have to be your opinion. You can take it or leave it, right? Okay, now we are going to put the same circle above as we put below. Okay, so we're going to do one there, and one in the middle. Now notice there is a gap here between these, and I really don't think we're supposed to have a gap. So I'm thinking I'm going to move these closer to each other. I'm going to center the center one. I don't know why there's a gap. That's really strange, because on the sketch there is no gap, and there really shouldn't be if this is a true 4-inch circle. Aha, that's the problem. It is 3 7/8. So that explains my gaps. Alright, so if you don't want to deal with gaps, make sure you use your circle cutter to cut your circles instead of your custom cutting system, because otherwise you will end up minding the gap, as they say. I'm just going to go ahead and make it work, because I don't want to have to cut them again, and I think it looks okay. Alright, now we'll get back to my photos for this side in a minute, because I'm going to have to cut, like I said, a different mat for that. So let's jump over here to this side. And let's go ahead and, speaking of mats, we'll just go ahead and mat these photos so they are ready to go. All right, now we're going to go ahead and repeat what we did on the right hand side over here on this side. All right, and I'm going to put my circles in the same order that I have them over here, and the reason is because I want to be able to have the same opportunity to see the different colors in the plaids, and my photos are going to essentially go like this. So by putting these in the same order, it will hopefully allow it to be a little more visually balanced. All right, so these photos are taken from the hotel where we were staying, which was super fun because they had all of these models, the models that the Imagineers used when they were designing a new ride. They pulled those out, and I don't know if they rotate them or not, but I hope that they do rotate them because I think it would make it way more fun. But who am I? But these two on this side are photos that were taken from when they were developing the Haunted Mansion. And so you can see these are the ghosts that would go inside, and then this is a model. Hang on a second, let me add my adhesive to the back. This is a model of the outside of it, looking down on the menagerie outside the building, and then some photos of models from the inside. All right, so this side, the right hand side of our layout, I need to cut a new mat for, because this photo I'm going to leave a 4x6, and to compensate I cut this one down to a 3 by 5.5. So 3 by 5.5, 3 by 6. It's 3 by 6. So we probably could trim the edges, but I don't really want to. I don't know if you can see this online very well, but this is an old model of Disneyland when it first opened in 1935 or something like that. And so you can see that Tomorrowland is very underdeveloped, and even much of Fantasyland is underdeveloped. So is much of Frontierland. Galaxy's Edge does not exist. Much of like where the Splash Mountain in New Orleans Square is, that does not exist. Some of Frontierland is there. It's right here, and the Safari, anyway, that's there, which is cool, and Main Street is there, and I don't know if the castle is there or not. I am assuming the castle is there, although you can't really see it. And then a few things in Fantasyland. So it's just fascinating to me and very cool. I thought it would be fun to have. So I'm going to need to grab another sheet of cranberry to cut the appropriate mats for that. So since these are 6 inches wide, I'm going to cut I'm going to do a 6 1/4 piece, and I'm just going to give it a heel guess. I think it'll be okay. 6 1/4, and then we'll need a 4 1/4 for this one, and a 3 1/4 for the map. All right. So much for best laid plans, eh? Okay, so let's go ahead and mat these photos and get these put on. When I put these on here, I'm just going to try to duplicate what's on the other page as far as the angle and the space from the edge and things. So that it balances. All right. There we go. All right, so moving on to embellishments. When you change a 1-page sketch into a 2-page sketch, then we need to add, generally we go ahead and add 3 embellishment clusters. So I'm going to put an embellishment cluster right here. I'm going to put another one right here and another one up here. And I just pulled some stickers from the pack that most of this paper came from and kind of added some things together. Because when you reach the end of something like this, it is so much harder to find stickers that you want to put together or embellishments that work. So you just do the best you can and try to come up with things that will work with what you're doing. So these are some stickers from other Christmas packs that just felt like they kind of worked with these photos. So I added them here, here, and here, and tried to make sure there were 3 points of interest in each cluster. I didn't pop them up with foam squares, but that's okay. My album is actually very thick, so I'm not going to stress about that. And I can journal here and here about each of the sets of photos on each of the pages so that we remember what all of those are. All right, so I believe that concludes this session. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to go ahead and make sure you comment so that we can enter you in the drawing, which I failed to mention yesterday in the video. So hopefully people will read their instruction or their descriptions and catch on that I'm trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm almost there. And so we're going to do a drawing when we get to 950. We're going to do another drawing when we get to 975, and a bigger drawing when we get to 1,000. So hopefully you are already subscribed to my channel and don't have any issues with that, because you're already a part. But if you are already subscribed, you can always share my channel with someone else who can subscribe, and I hope you'll do that. I hope you like me well enough to do that. It's an honor to be able to share ideas with you guys. So thanks so much for being here, and until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Have a great day now.